everyone, Jamie Meloni, your host of That Business Show 2.0, where business becomes show business. Inspiring entrepreneurship each and every weekday morning here on TampaBayRadio.com and available on demand on iTunes and on our YouTube channel, in addition to a variety of other podcasting sites. We want you to become the next great success story, and we want to hear from you as well. So whatever business that you're in, whatever phase of success or even failure that you're in, we want to hear those stories because there are so many people out there that need to hear that they are not alone in business, wherever it is that they are at. And so that is the mission, that is the vision of That Business Show 2.0. Head over to tbsinterview.com and you can find out how to come on to the program. And today is a great story about inspiration. How my guest today, Laura Pennington, went from a teaching position, a long commute between home and work, and needing to supplement that income, and how she found freelance writing and turned it into a business all of itself. And so to my guest today, Laura Pennington, freelance writer and coach with SixFigure Writing Secrets. So Laura, welcome to the program today.
Hi there. Thanks for having me.
So I will let you share the story of how you're in Baltimore, working as a teacher, dissatisfied where you were at life. Take me through this, please.
Sure. So I accepted a position in the Baltimore City teaching residency, which is very similar to Teach for America. They take people who have no background in education and kind of drop you into a struggling inner city school. And you can imagine just how well that played out.
No.
The 6 weeks of training I went through woefully unprepared me for what I was going to face in a classroom with 110 students.
Okay, so you didn't go to school for education. You didn't come out You ready for how to deal with a classroom, let alone an inner city classroom environment. Take it from there. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I didn't have a background in that. I'd been a teaching assistant at Virginia Tech when I got my master's, but I was working with college students. So it was pretty overwhelming and exhausting. It wasn't really the students, it was the administration and the adults within that bureaucracy that were really frustrating and overwhelming. And I really burned out after so many days of teaching 6 hours straight without a break. It really just took a toll on me. And I knew that I was going to have to leave that position. I wasn't really helping my students be the best students they could be. And I was also personally exhausted. So that's when I Googled how to become a freelance writer.
All right. So tell us what it is to be a freelance writer and how you began to transition from education into the life of a writer.
Sure. So I landed my first couple of jobs a couple weeks after getting started. I made my own writing samples, got a couple of clients, began working with them, realized that I loved it a lot. So I had taken another day job in the insurance industry during that time. Wasn't sure if it was a fluke or not making money with freelance writing, but I began to grow my business part-time. So I had a day job. I did this in the mornings, on the weekends, at night. Even my lunch hour was for client calls. And I really grew my business. What you do and what I do mostly is to provide written content to people who don't have the time, the interest, or the writing ability to produce it for themselves. So I'm basically a ghostwriter.
Okay. Do you write on any level of or a variety of topics? If I come to you and want you to produce a blog for me, or if I'm a doctor and I want a medical articles written, do you do any type of topic?
I do. I really started out that way. I'm kind of niche down now. I work mostly with insurance agencies and law firms. So that's almost exclusively all of my clients.
Okay, I can see law firms because they do a lot of writing. How does the insurance side of this work? Are you writing just briefs on behalf of the insurance companies, write-ups on different cases? How does that work?
It's mostly blogs for, and it's the same for attorneys too. Both of these industries are blogging in order to increase their search engine ranking and to connect with their customers. So I write blogs based on industry trends, studies, and then also questions that their potential clients might have anyways. So an insurance blog might be why a stay-at-home mom still needs to consider life insurance, or, for a law firm, 5 steps you have to take after a car accident, so that it helps with multiple purposes for that business.
And how soon did you see the opportunity? And is this today what you focus on solely? Do you still have another job and working in insurance, or are you strictly a freelance writer now?
I balanced both for 1 year, and then I got so busy with my freelance writing business. And actually I went to quit my job and I got fired. So it was a blessing in disguise. I went full-time immediately and scaled my business to the 6-figure mark.
I want to know more about how do you go to quit a job and get fired at the same time? How did you time that?
I have no idea. That's just the way it worked out. I had the 2 weeks notice written, and that Friday my boss called me in her office and said, we're going to let you go. And I thought, okay, I don't have to do the awkward 2 weeks, and I'm going to get to keep my health insurance for 30 days, and I'm going to get severance. So I'm just going to take it and run with it. And it actually kind of encouraged me to grow my business to the full-time level.
So it was just coincidental, the fact that you were planning to leave and you got fired. Sort of reminds me of the movie Friday, where the guy gets fired on his day off. Ice Cube, I don't know if you've seen that movie, but most people have. It's one of the great comedies of all time. How the hell are you going to get fired on your day off and everything? So it kind of reminds me of that situation right there. But fortunately for you, you were planning to leave the business to focus on freelance writing. Now tell me, I mean, I enjoy writing. I have a blog, although it's a couple weeks behind, but I was producing a daily blog, actually 3 or 4 episodes, or I should say entries per day, and it was one after each guest on the show. And so I've done this show now 2.5 years, interviewed over 1,000 people. So I've got about 1,000 different blog entries up at TampaBayRadioBlog.com. But how lucrative or how much opportunity is there in this business being a freelance writer?
Well, content is king. That's still absolutely true on the internet today. People are reading and consuming more content than ever. So any business that wants to land clients digitally has to have a content marketing strategy. So the demand is certainly there. As far as making money, it depends on how much you want to work and the industry you're working in. So for example, because I work with attorneys and it's somewhat technical content and you have to do a lot of research, it pays more than your traditional blog might. Same thing with anyone who's writing in healthcare or medicine, because it's just more complicated and you have to have a background in it to succeed with it. But what I love about freelancing is if you have 2 hours a week and want to make money with this, or if you have 40 hours a week, you can scale it to as much as you want.
How did people then become a freelance writer? I mean, you can become a freelance anything. Hey, I do this or I do that. How do you get out there and let people know that you're a service provider for this? Are there clubs or websites or organizations that you join? How do you get your name out there for this?
Well, it's kind of, you need to just claim this status as, a credible expert in this industry. But if you need to get clients relatively quickly, I recommend joining a paid job board, which is basically a place that connects you with clients who are already in the market for hiring somebody. I like to use Upwork.com. It's the biggest provider of freelance projects online. There's lots of other examples out there. So I like that for new freelancers because those clients are pre-sold. They already know they want to hire somebody, so you don't have to convince them about the benefits of outsourcing. They're just looking for the right person. And then as far as what you need to have some work samples and you need to have a really good pitch in order to begin landing clients.
Now, do you believe that you yourself were a natural writer? I've seen a lot of people's writings and it's horrendous. I consider myself a pretty good writer, but I think writing is one of those things you either are good at or you're not good at. Anything can be perfected and fine-tuned, but for some people it's like singing. You can either sing or you can't. I mean, you can perfect it if you can sing, but to me it's you can write or you can't write. How do you say?
I tend to agree with that. I think if you are a good writer, I can help you go from good to great. But if you are a struggling writer, and particularly if you have problems with spelling or grammar or comma placement, you're really going to struggle to land clients. So then I might recommend you become a virtual assistant or graphic design, do some other type of freelancing. But you do have to have like a base level of writing ability, but mine was not traditional business writing. So you can kind of teach yourself if you've got that interest in reading and writing and you have a good vocabulary and grammar skills.
And punctuation, a very important part of writing. We debate this past couple weeks or month with regard to the Oxford comma and how it affected a lawsuit. Do you know what I'm talking about by chance?
I know exactly what you're talking about. The dairy farmers.
Yeah, I guess the removal of the Oxford comma changes the entire structure of the sentence. And for people that aren't familiar with the Oxford comma, it's the last comma in between a list of things to separate the last two things in a list. Versus so if you say red, white, blue, green, you have commas in between each of the words, but the blue and the green, the last two, some people like the comma there, some people don't. And so when it's there, it's an Oxford comma. But certain sentences, it changes the entire meaning of it, and there was a lawsuit that Oxford comma missing completely changed the meaning of the document into a way that the writers did not intend it to be. And so knowing how to write can cost you money too, can it?
Absolutely. And it's all about being a professional online. People can judge you in 30 seconds or less based on your website and your content. So if there are spelling and grammar and punctuation errors there, particularly if you are a professional like an attorney, that person's going to click away faster than you can imagine. So that is really, really important for business.
Now, how do you price your services? Is it dependent upon industry, the number of hours invested? How does your pricing strategy work then?
It's kind of a mix of those two things. When I first got started, to be honest, I didn't know what I was doing. So it was mostly based on how long I thought it would take me to complete the project. However, even within my own industry, there's a big difference for me writing about car accidents and then writing about the mechanics of a defective medical device. Those are kind of two different things that require more research and a higher level of expertise. So sometimes I will price differently within my industry based on how complicated the material is. But yeah, it's kind of a mix of what am I writing about? How long is it going to take me? And then I always try to incentivize my clients. I give them a discount if they order more than a certain amount of work per month. That just encourages them to order a little bit more, but it also allows me to have retainer clients so I can plan my income easier.
And you're working this business, I take it, from the comfort of your home or wherever it is that you choose to work. Am I correct?
Yes, and we are getting ready for move number 6. In the last 7 years, my fiance is in the Navy, so we move all the time, and being able to have a mobile career that I just need Wi-Fi for is huge for our lifestyle.
Incredible. And how many hours a day roughly do you spend writing and contributing to your business right now?
I would say right now between 3 and 5 a day.
Wow, so that's a great income, whether to supplement an existing business or to break off onto your own, like you have done here with SixFigure Writing Secrets. Currently talking again to Laura Pennington, freelance writer and coach. Learn more at that website, SixFigureWritingSecrets.com. Got another segment with her when we come back from the break. Talk a little bit more about what it is to be a writer and how to be a good writer. One of my favorite topics is talking about writing, because I definitely enjoy writing myself. You're listening to That Business Show 2.0 with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business.
Hi, welcome to Yeager's. We just want to take a minute and show you what we're all about. At Yeager's, our primary business is hardwood flooring, although we are remodelers for kitchen, bath, and general construction. We operate a fleet of shop-at-home vans that have all the flooring-type products: hardwood flooring, laminate flooring, tiles, stone, what have you. So we're able to come out first with products in our vehicles and take a look at the setting, how the colors will work, and then to be able to come up with some options and ideas for you. If that's not good enough, we have a large distribution center that we inventory product and have a nice display area.
Hi, Jackie Skelton from JR World Travel here. If you travel, you need a licensed professional travel consultant, not a computer. Your licensed professional consultant can get you more for your time and your money. Value for your money and experience, not marketing salesmanship. When you're sick, you call the doctor. When you need legal advice, you call an attorney. So the next time you want to go on any type of travel, call your licensed professional travel consultant who actually represents you. We specialise in group travel, family reunions, weddings, to escorting large groups or making special arrangements for the disabled. Please call 844-249-0190. We are a full-service travel consultancy offering worldwide concierge service. Air, land, sea, rivers, resorts, locally, nationally, and internationally. Remember that number, 844-249-0190.
Hey everyone, Jamie Meloni back here, host of the all-new That Business Show 2.0, where business becomes show business. Where we talk with different business owners, entrepreneurs, political and community leaders each and every morning in an effort to inspire entrepreneurship, and we want to hear your story as well. Head over to tbsinterview.com for more information on how to get onto this program, and all episodes available on demand. Over 1,000 different entrepreneurial interviews going back over 2 years on this program, and even more if you include all the real estate editions of the program that we have done. So a lot of content here on this program. You can find it over on our YouTube channel, thatyoutubechannel.com. It made it easy to find. Also on iTunes, just search for That Business Show, and it's also available as a video cast up on iTunes as well in high definition. Not a lot of people doing high definition video on iTunes right now, except for some of the major players in the business. So differentiating the program with the use of video in addition to just audio. So please subscribe to us on iTunes, leave a review and download some episodes, listen to them as well. A lot of great content inside them, help the show grow. So today we're talking about freelance writing. My guest is Laura Pennington, freelance writer and coach with SixFigure Writing Secrets. Learn more at that website, SixFigureWritingSecrets.com. And she turned a career in education, dissatisfied where she was at in life, found the business of writing, began to supplement her income, and then replaced her income with the writing business. So when you began writing, you said you handled a variety of different topics. You wrote on anything. Where did you see the opportunity with regard to insurance and legal? Why did you go that direction? Is that just where your passion lied?
Sure. So I had been involved in the legal and insurance industries as an employee, kind of in college and in graduate school. So I knew the industry a little bit, but I saw that those were the easiest projects for me to land by positioning myself as an expert. Those tend to be more technical topics that not just anyone can write or talk about. So when I saw a pattern of continuously landing projects from attorneys and small to mid-sized law firms, I decided that was where I was going to really focus my effort.
Now, you mentioned a website earlier. What was it, Upwork? What was that again?
Yes.
How does that work? I've never heard of that site, and so I want to learn about that. So is that for anything and everything related to freelance work?
Yes, so you can hire voiceover artists, cartoonists, logo designers, transcriptionists, virtual assistants, writers, just about almost anything you can imagine that can be done freelance. And Upwork is basically an intermediary. So clients come to the site, they post a job. Freelancers who are members of the site will submit a bid and response, share their work samples and how long they think it might take them to do the project. And then the client hires them. And then there's a, kind of a fee that Upwork takes from the freelancer. There's a monthly membership, and then they take 20 to 5% of the project fee, depending on how big the project is. And then they also serve as an escrow service. So the client has to prepay into an escrow account managed by Upwork. Then when you submit the work, Upwork releases the money to the freelancer. So I love it because the clients already want to hire somebody. And then secondly, not having to chase down money is huge for a new freelancer. So having that additional protection is really beneficial.
So is this like Fiverr and 99 Designs, or is that in that same category? Any differences, or have you used those other sites, and is there a particular reason you like the one over the other?
Yeah, so I use Fiverr for other things, but I have never hired a good writer through Fiverr, and I've probably hired 100 writers for my own clients in the past couple of years. So there's definitely people over there, but somebody charging $5 an article, the grammar tends to be just horrific, and it's very generic content. So I haven't found that to be a good avenue for hiring writers. And then Upwork really just has so many job opportunities posted. And because it's driven by the client posting a job, it's really it's better for the freelancer actually, because they're not having to submit for business aside from when someone posts a job. And you can also be invited to jobs. You can manage long-term contracts on there. It's a great place to find clients.
Where do you see opportunities in the writing business? I know a lot of people want to have blogs, and is that a good market to kind of put yourself out there to do is, hey, I'll write your blog for you? Give me some ideas for people that are good at writing where they could exercise this talent.
Sure. So blogs are huge. Blogs are a big deal. They'll continue to be an important component of content marketing in the future. However, I see a lot trending towards sales copy, which is a different type of writing, whether it's email newsletters, sales pages. A lot of people who are launching online programs and courses need good copywriters to communicate their voice and to specifically write sales copy that entices somebody to click buy at the end of a page or at the end of an email sequence. So if you have the interest in learning sales copy specifically, that's something that I think is going to become more and more important. And also video scripting, as videos become a more important piece of digital marketing overall. Some people just aren't comfortable with appearing on video off the cuff, and they may want to have a script, whether they're selling a product or even just a YouTube channel, to have assistance with that process.
Now, I see you're also a coach. Do you coach others in writing, and do you have other avenues that you also coach in?
Sure. I coach people how to become writers as well as virtual assistants. So some people will come to me and say, I don't have the confidence to be a writer. I don't have the skills. I don't want to do it. And so virtual assistants is often a great second option for people who want to handle research, administrative work, scheduling social media, creating graphics. All of that kind of falls under the umbrella of a virtual assistant. And I teach people how to launch their careers successfully, to make some extra money, to make sure they have the right materials when they're pitching to clients, and then how to scale it to a sustainable business as well.
What type of industry does well with virtual assistants? I'm a realtor, and I know there's a lot of virtual assistants in that field, a lot of people in the bookkeeping side of virtual assistants. Where are opportunities in that area of business?
The next kind of open opportunity that I would see in the virtual assistant world is with bloggers. A lot of people have blogs that they're monetizing. They have podcasts that they're monetizing, and those people need help with a specific aspect of running their online business. They don't have time to do it all. I have seen an increasing number of bloggers recognizing that they need help scheduling their social media or proofreading things or uploading blog posts and formatting them. So virtual assistants can step in and take some of these things off of a busy online entrepreneur's plate.
Now, for the entrepreneur out there with their own business, we've been talking about writing and developing content. Say they have a blog. How often should they be posting to the blog? I think the standard is, at least once a week. What do you recommend, and how long should a blog be?
Well, it depends on the industry, and it depends on what you're attempting to accomplish. So for my legal clients, they're in very competitive marketplaces. They may be competing against 100 other law firms if they're in a big city. So they are posting every day with at least 400 words or more. Other people choose to go a different avenue. If you're an online entrepreneur that you're just kind of starting out in the content marketing game, pick something you can stick with. The worst thing is saying, I'm going to blog 5 days a week, and then you keep that up for 2 weeks and then don't post anything for 3 months. So pick something you can stick with. Start off with once a week. You can always grow it coming later on. But I think longer blog posts, 1,200 words to 2,000 words, are becoming increasingly important in the digital marketing space because people like to consume a lot of information.
How can somebody get their blog in front of more people? That's something I've always struggled with. Discoverability of any type of content that you produce is always a challenge. And in a very crowded marketplace, in doing some research, I came across Reddit, for example. I messed around with that for a day and decided that was worth way too much. It needed way too much investment to learn how to use Reddit properly. But how do you get more exposure for your blog? Any non-traditional methods?
The first thing you need to be doing is keyword research. You need to be targeting your titles and the words that you're referencing in your blog specifically to what people are already searching. So you might think you're writing the best blog about how to self-publish a book, but go into Google's keyword planner and see what people are actually typing into Google when they're thinking about self-publishing. You may rearrange the words in your title and mention that phrase throughout your blog based on the fact that people are already looking for it. So that's really important. The second one is, I would say, become a contributor anywhere else you can. When I write for the Huffington Post, I write for Boss Babe, which has a mailing list of over 50,000 people. And I also have been featured in Business Insider twice. So if you can be viewed as an credible expert by being featured in other places, whether that's written content, whether that's doing a joint webinar with somebody else, or even being on someone else's podcast, that really helps to establish that you know what you're talking about and can get some more eyes on your blog as well.
Now, there's so many different people out there working a job that they're not comfortable with for whatever reason. Your story began, again, working in an education environment that you were not comfortable in, and you stepped outside and found the world of freelance writing, became an entrepreneur. What inspiration or motivation can you give to the listeners out there that are in some type of situation where they're in a job that they are not comfortable with? They know that they have a passion for something else. What can you say to them to maybe inspire them?
You have nothing to lose by giving this a shot and getting started. Worst case scenario, you spend a couple of hours creating a pitch and writing sample and maybe a brief website or profile on Upwork, and you never land business from it, or you do one job and realize you don't like it. But my only regret is that I didn't start sooner. So consider giving it a shot and seeing if this is for you, because so many doors have opened for me just by trying it.
Well, an incredible success story, and again, another reason why we love to do this program, to inspire others from hearing from others' successes. So a great story. Laura Pennington, a freelance writer and coach with SixFigure Writing Secrets. Learn more about her, SixFigureWritingSecrets.com. So Laura, we greatly appreciate you being with us on the program today and wish you the best of luck with your business.
Thank you.
And again, you've been listening to That Business Show 2.0, where we again talk with different business owners, entrepreneurs, political and community leaders each and every morning on the program, hoping to inspire you, the listener or the viewer, to step outside of the box and start that business. Do something that you would otherwise not do. That's what we hope that you get from this show each and every morning. We'd love to hear your story. Please visit tbsinterview.com to find out how to come onto the program and learn more about us. Also find us on demand over on iTunes. Simply type in That Business Show 2.0. Keep in mind we're up there as both a podcast and a video cast. So please subscribe, leave a review, help the show grow, and find us over on that YouTube channel. Simply go to that URL again, thatyoutubechannel.com, and subscribe to us and help the show grow and help people get their message out to the message. Again, that's what I do the program for each and every morning, and it's an honor to be able to talk to the many different professionals that have been on this program. Also, all content available on demand and easily shareable over on thatbusinessshow.com. So just one of many different sources where you can find all the content on this program. So again, you've been listening to the all-new That Business Show 2.0 with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business.